Welcome back to the show. It's been a while since they joined us. Actually, it's pretty much the one-year reunion of the two of us enjoying each other's company. Last time we did it, it was virtually, but now we get to sit across from each other, and it's something the two of us absolutely love. My next guest is a fantastic performer. They have won numerous awards and has a brand new production coming to Ottawa Fringe Festival. I'm joined by Velvet Wells, the Velvet Duke.
Thank you.
Welcome. Great to have you back.
Thank you very much, Derek. This is exciting.
Yeah, let's talk about, first of all, before we get to the latest production, tell everybody at home a little bit about your background, Velvet.
Yeah, I consider myself a performer-producer. I do all of the spinning of dishes. I make sure there are dishes. And I've had to, in order to get my interest out into the world. I started with improv, and that means making everything up on the spot. But you need a venue, you need an audience. So I've learned both sides of the trade. Rather than going to school for it or waiting for somebody else to open those doors, I just learned how to open them myself.
Have you always been a creator? When did you start actually producing and putting things together like this?
I started in my 30s.
Okay.
I came back to improv as I realized it was a missing piece for me. I was whole in other ways in my community and my family, but I needed something more for me. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to gather the people I like. We're going to get together and do this thing which can be really joyful. It can be very serious. And we went there together. So right. Yeah, I learned both at the same time.
Your latest production is called All Request Radio. And speaking of improv, I mean, this is pretty much the most improv you could possibly do. Tell everybody at home the inspiration behind this, and I love the interaction that you do with the audience with this production.
Thank you. I grew up with the radio, which means that I grew up with those top 10 countdowns, the Casey Kasem voice. Probably my first impression was trying to be Casey Kasem. And so the nostalgia of that alone for me was enough to go, why can't I do that? And so this show is pretending to be in a radio station. We're doing the top 10 countdown, which gives the audience a structure to how their suggestions are used. Okay. In a lot of improv shows, people are concerned that they're going to get picked and that they're going to get picked on. In my show, I've taken that out of the equation by running their suggestions through a computer, randomizing it. So neither they or I know the order of the titles that they give me. And we play, we discover.
So that's interesting, yeah. So in improv, I'm sure that a lot of viewers at home have seen, you might get an audience member shouting something out. Maybe they've written it on a piece of paper and they're handing it to the host or the performer like yourself. So how does that work then? Are they writing it down and then you're sort of putting it into the computer at random?
I have taken a person out of that. I said I wear all the hats. I've taken a person out of the equation. They're going into a Google form.
Okay.
And then from the Google form, I have a macro that runs, that randomizes things, so we don't have to look at it at all.
Okay. So you get the idea. You get what? A title, a word, and then what happens?
Yeah, I've asked them to come up with a made-up song title. It can be any phrase. So if somebody says egg beater vacuum, that's suddenly the song. Hopefully maybe not that. We'll see. We'll save that one for later. But I have also randomized my playlist. I won't know the style of music until it starts playing. Wow. So I am being inspired in the moment, in front of people. I'll give my honest reactions. If it's egg beater vacuum cleaner, I am not going to be happy. You'll see me, I'm happy now, but you'll see my honest reaction to it. And then we go from there. How do I feel? Yeah. What that is allowed to be part of this thing we are creating.
Velvet, accessibility is a big part of what you do, and in this production you've made sure of that, right?
Right. Fringe is already mobily accessible, and they're adding more features this year, but I went ahead myself. I've made sure every single show is ASL English interpreted. I also have open captions on a projected screen.
Excellent.
And then I also have pay it forward tickets for people so that finances aren't a barrier.
Another thing you have is Blackout Night. That's happening on June 21st. Tell me about that.
Yeah, Fringe is very inclusive. Anybody can show up. But we know historically in Canadian theatre, not a lot of Black communities feel like it's a space for them. So this is an invitation. It doesn't exclude anybody else,
right,
but it is an invitation specifically to my community to say, hey, come see the show.
Improvisation, I know that you consider it a big benefit for your mental health. Can you speak on that?
It is. Improv allows for your esteem to build, to have confidence, trying something that is risky outside of your comfort zone and still succeed. Or if you fail, because in improv there is failure, but even if you fail, you've made it through. Both are very important.
I mentioned in the intro that you've won many awards, but I'm sure that one of your latest awards is probably one of your proudest. Tell us about that award.
Ottawa Arts Council has given me the laureate for the Emerging IBPOC Artist of the Year. It is one of my pride points because I'm seen for accessibility, for looking and sounding like I do.
What do you hope people take away from this production? I mean, I know they're going to be entertained and they're going to have a lot of fun, but I know that you like to make people, you know, think, and there's learning moments there as well, Velvet.
Right. As I said, everything in the show is behind the scenes, randomized. The computer is doing the work. And that's a concern for us. AI is on this edge. It's already here in many ways. So I'm going to touch on that human versus AI world.
Excellent. Great to have you back. And again, congratulations on all your success and your latest award. Well-deserved, Velvet.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming today. All Request Radio, it's, by the way, it's the world premiere here in Ottawa. It's never been performed anywhere else, so you'll get the world premiere. It's happening at Arts Court, June 15th to the 21st. There are 8 shows available to see. Ottawa Fringe Festival, of course, you can find out all the information at ottawafringe.com, and you can find out more information about Velvet at thevelvetduke.com. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.